Good afternoon and welcome to Live Jazz New England. I'm your host, Pamela Hines, and my guests today are Mike Renzi on piano, bassist and vocalist Dick Lupino, and drummer Rick Wells. Mike grew up in Providence and he started piano lessons at the age of 8. In 1962, he led his own quartet at a North Providence club known as the Kings and Queens, where he played with such artists as Zoot Sims, Ernestine Anderson, and Etta Jones. Mike attended the Boston Conservatory and Berklee College of Music, where he learned about accompanying instrumentalists and singers and about arranging and composing. In 1976, Mike moved to New York, and his piano skills were quickly noticed. Woody Allen hired him to play on the soundtrack of his film Manhattan, and Jackie Kane invited Mike to accompany her in a tribute to Hoagy Carmichael at Carnegie Hall. Mel Torme recruited him for a New York supper club named Marty's, and Lena Horne put Mike into the band that accompanied her one-woman show on Broadway. He has won 7 Daytime Emmy Awards by providing musical background for such TV shows as Sesame Street and All My Children, and he's played on or arranged for more than 100 albums, such as Lena Horne, Mel Torme, Jack Jones, Maureen McGovern, Peggy Lee, and Liza Minnelli. Recently, we've seen him in concert on TV with Tony Bennett. He and bassist and vocalist Dick Lupino have been friends and musical colleagues for over 50 years. Dick has had many regular gigs where he's brought in artists from the Eastern Seaboard, the Chandler at the Cliff Walk, Sardellas, and Greenvale Vineyards, to name a few. He graduated from New England Conservatory, and for over 40 years now, he has played with many greats, including Isaac Stern, Steve Lawrence, and The Fifth Dimension. Our drummer, Rick Wells, attended William Patterson, and he studied with Thad Jones and Mel Lewis, and he played in New Jersey before he moved to Rhode Island about 15 years ago. So now here is the Mike Renzi trio with Dick Lupino and Rick Wells, and this is Just the Way You Are.
Thank you. All right, here we are, almost live on WICN. And we're going to play a few tunes, and then we'll talk to Pamela a little bit. This is a big hit for Sinatra. You'll recognize this one. A one, two, Let's take it nice and easy. It's gonna be so easy for us to fall in love. Hey baby, what's your hurry? Relax and don't you worry. We're gonna fall in love. We're on the road to romance, that's safe to say. But let's make all the stops along the way. The problem now, of course, is to simply hold your horses. To rush would be a crime. Nice and easy does it every time. Let's take it nice and easy. It's gonna be so easy for us to fall in love. Hey baby, what's your hurry? Relax and don't you worry. We're gonna fall in love. We're on the road to romance, that's safe to say. But let's make all the stops along the way. The problem now, of course, is to simply hold your horses. To rush would be a crime. Nice and easy does it. Nice and easy does it. Nice and easy does it every time. Like the man said, nice and easy does it. Nice and easy does it. Nice and easy does it every time. Thank you. All right, we're going to feature Mike. This is a medley he does of music of Duke Ellington, and it changes every time we do it. So I can't tell you what we're going to do.
Neither can I. We'll figure it out. I know the first tune is Satin Doll.
Here we go.
The second tune will be Don't Get Around Much Anymore. Then after that, who knows? We'll see. Okay.
Yeah, music of Duke Ellington by Mike Renzi. All right.
You are tuned into Live Jazz New England, and as you hear, Dick Lupino on bass and vocals. It's Mike Renzi on the piano and drummer Rick Wells. I have a bunch of questions, but let me start with Mike Renzi. I picked 3 legends that you've played with Mike, but it could be anybody. I picked Mel Torme, Blossom Dearie, and Peggy Lee, but I think maybe I should just ask you, what are the more memorable experiences that you can share with us about working with these legends?
Well, let's see. Each one of them, of course, is a legend, and they were also very musical. I loved every minute of it all. Actually, everybody I played for, I loved a lot. With Mel Torme, it was just the ultimate experience because he was so great. I consider him the male Ella Fitzgerald when it comes to scatting. Yes. I mean, working with him night after night, I heard him do some stuff that was just unbelievable. Always in perfect pitch, perfect tune, perfect time. Everything was just right. And when I had the opportunity many times to work with him a month long at Marty's in New York, which was a great venue, he would come in, he lived in California, he would come in with a whole new show, and he did most of the arrangements for a trio. But he would give me total liberty. He'd say, Renz, if there's some changes you want to make here, or a chord that I put that maybe you have something different, let me hear it and let's see what we do. So we worked together like that all the time, and it was just probably the happiest and most musical experience of anybody. They were all great, but Mel was, because he could play piano and drums and sing the way he did, and also wrote great songs, as we know. He was also a prolific writer, period. A lot of people don't know, but he's written scripts for television shows, The Virginian, Gunsmoke. He did all that stuff. I mean, he was just unbelievable. So that was with him. Peggy, of course, unbelievable. And Blossom had her own thing. She was, as you know, her own player. But when I made the records with her, I'd play second piano or do synthesizer strings, things like that. So musical and so beautiful. She played, as you know, Pam, because you play, she played the most beautiful voicings behind herself, chord-wise. And I once spoke to Johnny Mandel, who's a great arranger and knew Blossom from years and years ago. He said to me, when she came down to New York City, like he was living there, this is long before he wrote MASH and moved to California. He said when she came down from upstate New York, he called her a milkmaiden. He said she looked like this little girl right off the farm. He said when she sat down and played and sang, it was total heaven. He said she was fully formed then. I mean, she could sit down and play Once Upon a Summertime, one of those great things, and with all the right voicings and everything. So with Blossom, it was great too. They were all wonderful, I must say.
Now, Mel did a lot of work out there. It was at CBS or something. I mean, was he the musical director for the Judy Garland show?
Yes,
back in 64,
years ago, right. He was, when Judy had her TV show, he was her musical consultant. He wrote a lot of original material for her and everything like that. Later on, as things happened, and this is public knowledge, I'm not telling tales out of school, he wrote a book called On the Midnight Patrol Till Dawn with Judy Garland. It was about, I guess Judy was having problems and stuff, and he wrote a book about his relationship with her as far as music goes. Very complimentary about her music and everything like that. But when I worked with Liza years down the road, Liza was not happy with that book. But Mel he could write some original stuff, and he wrote Judy a lot of great stuff.
Well, we're very lucky. We're very blessed because of YouTube, because we've seen some of your clips with working with Mel, just incredible improvisations. And, of course, your improvisation on the piano is just amazing, and how lucky we are to even get a little bit of that on YouTube of what you're talking about.
Well, thank you so much, Pam.
It must have been refreshing for him to come in with new shows, new arrangements, everything,
Always. I loved it a lot, and he would put medleys together. Like he put it together a Fred Astaire medley. That was unbelievable from all of Fred Astaire's movies. He was great at that, compiling stuff and combining stuff to make great medleys, and that's what he did for Judy. He did a lot of that for her. There's a thing on YouTube, there's a couple of things, but one of my favorite things to watch, I think it's labeled Mel Torme Jazz Festival 1981. It was the North Sea Jazz Festival we did.
Yes.
And he does a thing on Lady Be Good, a tribute to Ella Fitzgerald. That's unbelievable. And then he does Love for Sale, which is off the charts. And it's great. And Jay Lenhart was playing bass. Donnie Osborne is drummer of a long time, and I was playing piano. Mel was just the greatest, the most musical.
Wow.
Not to say that Tony Bennett wasn't musical, Lady Gaga or everybody else. They were all great. But Mel just had that spark for me.
And I would imagine, I guess that's what they say about Ella, too, is that she was a musician's musician. You know, she had the...
Exactly right. And I had the privilege of being a very dear friend of Tommy Flanagan, who played for Ella all those years. And Tommy used to tell me, he said, she was unbelievable. He said, Mike, it was like the same thing with Mel with me. You never knew it was going to come out, but you knew it was always going to be great.
Wow.
And again, perfect articulation, perfect pitch, everything right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I want to kind of touch upon what you were talking about regarding technology. When you moved to New York in the 1970s and you began recording for television shows, and I was going to ask you, how has the technology changed? Obviously, it's gone digital and it gets finer and finer as we go along. But how has it changed for you regarding your putting together projects versus when you came to New York in the 70s?
Well, at that point, everything was they were still, believe it or not, if you had to make an edit or a splice, they were still doing it with razor blades. From reel to reel, putting the tape together and making it. And, of course, the engineer, and I was fortunate to work with one of the greatest engineers in New York City. His name was Jim Zach. Owned NOLA Recording, did a ton of records there. Did 12 years of Sesame Street there, too. He was a great one for that. But then, of course, technology. And the thing that changed everything around and made it a lot easier for us, for musicians, composers, and people who were writing, putting projects together, was the advent of Pro Tools, the computer. I mean, it's also a great blessing for some singers who don't necessarily sing in tune all the time. You tune them up with the computer. You see the pitch going this way. You see it below the line. You move it up, and they sound right in tune. If say I was playing, I'm going to give you a slight example. Say I was playing something like, and I made a mistake. Well, if I went, by accident, you don't have to do that again. Move it back. You did it right 2 passes ago. They patched it right on perfectly, seamlessly. You could also, but I can't do this because of my pitch. I have to play in whatever key they sing in. Some of the newer stuff, if guys can only play well in C and F, and they want to sing it in B or E, they do, the computer does it. I can't do that because of my pitch. If I'm saying a C, I'm hearing a C. So I can't do that. But that's another thing. The guys can change any key. If it's written in C and you want to sing it in D flat or B or whatever, a half step higher or lower, they can do that without a bit of worry. And also creating music. You can put some stuff in there, just random patches, and it'll come out sounding like 20th century. I mean, when I used to write for the soaps, if we wanted something like ominous, it would be something like that. But now the computer can do it. You don't have to do a damn thing. And if it's time passing, like
yes,
that kind of thing, the computer can do it for you. I mean, so it's making composition a lot easier. A lot of the Hollywood guys are using strictly that. I mean, Jan Hammer and all those guys did. Not that they're not composers, but what they're doing is they're programming, and the computer comes out with some stuff unbelievable. Yeah. So the technology from the 70s to now is unbelievable.
Well, I want to get back to the music, but I have just one more question. I'm just going to ask for 3 tips because I know I would like to stay for 2 hours and hear what you have to say about this, but your study and your mastery behind vocalists, what are 3 tips you can give pianists when they're playing behind vocalists and accompanying them?
Okay, I don't know if I can number them 1, 2, and 3, but here's basically what they might be, and you can self-categorize. Basically, what I try to do is play orchestra behind them. Okay? The worst thing a pianist can do is while the singer is singing the lyric and interpreting the song, is to start playing jazz lines behind her or him. For example, if Dick was singing, I'll give you an example. When I fall in love, right, and the piano player's going, all this kind of stuff going on, it's totally distracting. I would try to do something like, when I fall, in our orchestra, love, like how I would write for strings. That's what I try to do. If it's a swing thing, like when Dick was doing Nice and Easy, you hear me do kind of like a big band, like da do da ba ba dee dee. So I try to do orchestra band. One of the first things I always do is look at the lyrics to a song, because that tells the story and the emotion of the song. And if it's something that's very sentimental, then I try to make my accompaniment sound sentimental. If it's something that's very like forlorn, like maybe Angel Eyes, it's in a minor key, I'll do something like try to think, and I'll just go like, I'll make some chords that sound like this. Then right here, I got a space to fill. I won't play a line, but I'll go. Now that's Nelson Riddle.
Yeah.
Woodwinds on strings. You know?
Okay.
And so that's what I try to do. So I would say basically do orchestra, be aware of the lyric and the meaning of the song, and also who you're playing for. Some singers like some busy stuff. Others don't. Most of the great ones don't, though. They want nice pads and tasty fill-ins where there's a space for it. So I would say those are the three things.
Excellent. Well, I would love more time here, but we've got only about 15 minutes left, so let's get back to the music. What would you guys like to play next?
I think Dick should sing a song.
Sounds great.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Speaking of Johnny Mandel.
I have a little story about the song he's going to do. It's a great song, music written by Johnny Mandel and lyrics by a very great English movie composer, Richard Rodney Bennett. I recorded this with Lena Horne and Sammy Davis Jr. on one of her records as a duet, and I got a Grammy nomination for Best Orchestral Arrangement accompanying a singer. Put that aside, Dick comes around years later and says, "Hey, I want to do this song. It's a song you probably don't know." And I said, "No, I do know it very well." And then he listened to it on YouTube, and that was it. But it's got great lyrics, and it says a lot of meaningful things that a lot of people feel about relationships.
I had learned it for a wedding, and the couple said, "Oh, we have a recording of Sammy Davis Jr. and Lena Horne, and you'll send it to you." So I kind of listened to that, and then I had there were other recordings of it. So that's when I said to Mike, "I'm not sure if you know this song." He said, "Oh yeah." I did the arrangement.
Great song.
Oh, man.
I wish I'd met you when we were 17. Think of how we wasted all those years in between. But would we have been wise enough to know how to make a go of it? Knowing what we know of it, love's a grown-up game, but all the same, I wish I'd met you when we were very young. Before the wine was tasted
before our songs were sung. But how can life mean anything if time had stolen love away? I'm glad I never met till today. I wish I'd met you when we were very young, before the wine was tasted, before our songs were sung. But how could life mean anything if time had stolen love away? I'm glad I never met you. I'm glad I never met you. I'm glad I never met you till That's a great one.
Yes, sir.
What do you want to play?
Good question. Okay, let's see. Audience, what would you rather hear? Surrey with the Fringe on Top or Teach Me Tonight?
Teach me tonight.
All right, Teach Me Tonight.
You are tuned in to Live Jazz New England. I'm your host, Pamela Hines. My guests today are pianist Mike Renzi, bassist and vocalist Dick Lupino, and on drums is Rick Wells. We have only a few minutes left, but I want to just tell folks about the website where they can find out where you're playing. Is it Dick Lupino Music?
DickLupinomusic.com. Yep.
Okay. And let's see. While you guys discuss what you're gonna play for your final tune, I'll just get my thank yous out of the way. We want to thank Rick Hansen, the Piano Mill of Rockland, Mass., and Brad Pierce of Starfleet Audio in Whitensville, Mass. Thank you to our listening and live audience today. Executive Director Amanda Carr, Membership Director Astha Shrestha, Office Manager Kate Traveling, and Intern Dan Broder. What would you like to play to take us out, guys?
The best is yet to come. A nice
sure
long
is.
break.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, guys.
A 1, 2, 3. Out of the tree of life, I just picked me a plum. You came along and everything started to hum. Still, it's a real good bet, the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come, and baby, won't it be fine? You think you've seen the sun, you ain't seen it shine. Wait till the warm-up's underway. Wait till our lips have met. Wait till you see that sunshiny day. You ain't seen nothing yet. The best is yet to come, and baby, won't that be fine? The best is yet to come the day you're mine. Come the day you're mine. I'm gonna teach you to fly. We've only tasted the wine. We're gonna drain the cup dry. Wait till your charms are ripe for these arms to surround. You think you've flown before, you ain't left the ground. Wait till you're locked in my embrace. Wait till I draw you near. Wait till you see that sunshine place. Ain't nothing like it here. The best is yet to come, and baby, won't it be fine? The best is yet to come the day you're mine. The best is yet to come, and baby, won't it be fine? The best is yet to come the day you're mine. Come the day you're mine. I'm gonna teach you to fly. We've only tasted the wine. We're gonna drain the cup dry. Wait till your charms are ripe for these arms to surround. You think you've flown before, you ain't left the ground. Wait till you're locked in my embrace. Wait till I draw you near. Wait till you see that sunshine place. Ain't nothing like it here. The best is yet to come, and baby, won't it be fine? The best is yet to come the day you're mine. Come the day you're mine. You're mine. You're mine. Hey, you.